got to make sure they give 100%.
And of course, before you joined Whitby, there was quite a strong internet sort of push in your favour, Harry. There was a Facebook group set up, Come Back Harry Dunn, and all this. I don't know whether you keep up with any of this.
Andrew, I couldn't press the start button on it. That's not my idea of fun at all, sitting on a computer. I mean, I appreciate all the comments and that, what people put in and what have you, and you know, this Facebook business, it's just, I'm afraid it's not my idea of spending time. I'd rather spend my time going out watching football games, so I'll just be keeping going the way I've always done, out and about, seeing what's happening, getting reports off people and following up any lead to get players into the club.
Okay, Harry, that's brilliant. I was going to say, you might want to have a little look. Some of the Blythe fans actually are trying to get you an MBE.
Is that right? Well, I must say, you know, there was times when we didn't place it clever last season. They never ever turned on me or turned on the players. I think that, you know, the FA Cup run was a great thing for everybody concerned, and the support was fantastic. But I think that would happen at any club, Andrew. You know, to be perfectly honest, if for instance Whitby were in the third round of the FA Cup next year, I think the supporters would be doing hula hoops down the main street.
I can guarantee it, Harry. Yes,
that's the way football is. But the supporters have been good. I mean, they're very passionate with Blythe. Everybody knows that. It is a difficult. Every manager I speak to doesn't like going to Blythe to play, which helps you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think the people like to come to Whitby because Whitby people are nice people. They're a little bit different kettle of fish. That's not being disparaging or anything like that, but they do at Blythe. We've always encouraged them to get as close to the players as possible and make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Where I think it would be they get close to players and invite them in for a cup of tea. You know, it's a different type of people, but supporters the world over, you know, you win and they're happy.
Yeah.
And that's your job to get as many wins as possible and make people happy.
It's a results business, Harry, at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is, but having said that, you know, sometimes I think when your team gives 100% and you lose out, people will accept that. I think it's when you don't give 100% and you look at players and think, well, you can do better, but why are you not? That's an unacceptable face of football.
Yeah, okay. And there's gone the ferocity of the Whitby fans. You've obviously not been anywhere near the scratch and shed last season, of course. There's ferocious atmosphere in there now, Harry. So
well, that's all right, and I'll be more than happy with that. I mean, the thing about it is, you know, we always used to say when you're away from home, if the crowd was quiet, we're doing a job.
That's right.
But having said that, we also used to say when we're at home, the crowd might be quiet, but one good pass or do something well, and they're away and they're supporting you again, because people do tend to watch football these days. They observe it more, and then when something happens, then they help out with the shouting and whatever. In the olden days, it used to be the cheering used to go on from start to finish, but I still think it's a bit different type of supporter now.
Yeah. Okay. So the supporter takes a cue from the team rather than the team taking a cue from the supporters.
That's right. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Well, this is I guess what this show is all about. The podcast, of course, available online. Probably not to Harry Dunn, of course, because he doesn't know how to use it. But yes, it's a means for Whitby Town supporters to keep up to date with what's happening at the club. It was very successful last season by all accounts. I guess my last question, Harry, is can we look forward to maybe catching up with you next week, maybe making it a regular thing?
Yep, no problem, Andrew. Anytime you want, just give us a bell.
Thank you very much. And I was going to say, Harry, you come across as somebody who just loves football, basically. Is that right?
Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, you either go out and watch football games or you stop in the house or whatever it is, and that's why, you know, I can't understand about people anywhere in, because especially in the North East this year, you know, we've had Middlesbrough's been at the bottom of the league, Newcastle's at the bottom, Sunderland's at the bottom, Dartmouth have just about gone bust. and yet you've had Gateshead's gone up. We've had a terrific run. The club Durham City's had a great run this year, and I'm just thinking to yourself, well, what the hell are you sitting in the house for? Watching the telly, or why are you going to watch the big three when they're not very good, and yet the local non-league clubs are doing exceptionally well?
That's a very good point, Harry.
And that's got to be the same even Whitby way on and around that area. I mean, Middlesbrough have been poor this year, so I would be thinking to myself, well, if I live halfway between Middlesbrough and Whitby, why am I going to pay £30 to go and watch Middlesbrough play?
Well, I mean,
why don't I come and spend £6 or £7 and watch local lads chew the plucks out, do the best they can, and hopefully next season get a few better results?
And do you think maybe if well, obviously at least one or two of the big three are going to go down in the North East, do you think that might be to Whitby's advantage next season?
I would hope so. I would certainly think that one or two supporters will be having a look at it, and certainly if you're looking at people south of Middlesbrough, between Whitby and Middlesbrough, they'll be thinking, why should I go and watch? I don't know. Half the time, Andrew, I couldn't tell you who's playing in the championship and whatever. Take no interest in the game at that level.
Yeah.
But I would think, do I want to go and watch Middlesbrough play? I don't know, either Blackpool or somewhere like that, and you think to yourself, well, how much is it going to cost? 20 odd pound, and then a couple of pints at £3 a piece, and the pie at £3. When it can come down to Whitby and watch hopefully a good game of football for £6 or £7 and pay a couple of quid for a pint of beer, and again, just support your local clubs. It doesn't matter whether it's at Whitby or at Blythe or wherever it is, and give local football a chance as opposed to being sat in a big stadium watching overpaid footballers earn the money. Very, very few and far between.
Absolutely, spot on, Harry. Very well said. And going back to the professional clubs, we were discussing earlier on, myself and another Whitby fan, Cy Fox, who I'm sure you become acquainted with sooner or later throughout the season. We were discussing the local cup competition. Now myself and Cy don't know exactly how this works, but I was under the impression the FA sort of, for the example, the North Riding Cup as we have here. The FA put some kind of a block on players who have played too many Premiership games turning out for the professional teams. Is there a rule of that nature?
Well, I would think, Andrew, it would probably be to save the legs a little bit, because it must be hard work getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning, turning out at 10 o'clock to start and train, whereas our lads would be getting up at 7 o'clock and going to work, and so again, I think it's probably to cut down on the workload for them, because if they play 25 games a season, then they're obviously knackered for the rest of the season.
Middlesbrough last season when we played an absolutely unrecognisable, like, a youth team. I mean, I think sometimes the professional clubs don't realise that just putting in two reserve players who people have heard of will probably double or treble the attendance.
What you find, Andrew, is and they tend to forget about the little people in the game, and they're that busy concentrating on their own game at their level. I'll be honest with you. I think once they realise that there's some football apart from the Premiership, they get a bit of a shock. They think football is the Premiership and the Premiership only. There isn't anything else after the Premiership for them.
Yeah.
And I'll be perfectly honest. If I was managing a Premiership club and I had a couple of players who weren't playing so well, it would be the first game I'd be looking for them to play, and I'd be saying, get yourselves away down to Whitby on a cold, wet, windy Wednesday night, down at Whitby, North Riding Senior Cup, and then you can come back up here and see what the facilities are like and how well you tread, and it would be a massive culture shock for them.
There's nothing to stop them playing just a few named reserve players. I mean, goodness me.
The other thing you've got to look at is if they do play at, 2 or 3 of the first team, it might be the only time that if they were playing, say, Pickering, Pickering out, there'll be a load of Middlesbrough supporters at Pickering, I'm sure. Maybe the one and only time the kids at Pickering get a chance to see the players in the flesh, and B, might be looking to get an autograph.
Absolutely right, absolutely.
So, that's one of the things they've got to be looking at.
Well, hopefully somebody from the FA is listening and might be taking notes. You never know, Harry. You never know.
We might get hauled up in front of them for making some suggestions like that.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, anytime, Andrew.
Thanks, Harry, and welcome back.
Thanks very much.
From the James Cook University Hospital, Middlesbrough, to the world, this is Southside Broadcasting Online.